Imagine this. Fourth quarter, Super Bowl, 74 million people watching worldwide. Your team is down by 4 points. The clock is ticking. Every muscle in your body should be screaming with tension. But what if I told you that in this exact moment, Tom Brady's heart rate barely increases above normal? What if his brain operates like a perfectly calibrated machine, immune to the chaos around him? Today, we're diving deep into the mind of the greatest quarterback of all time to uncover the ancient secrets that modern science has finally begun to understand. Secrets that were first discovered over 2,000 years ago by Roman emperors and Greek philosophers. Welcome to the fascinating world where Stoic philosophy meets neuroscience, where ancient wisdom meets modern performance. The pressure cooker. Let's start with something mind-blowing. When most people face intense pressure, their bodies release a cocktail of stress hormones. Cortisol floods their system, adrenaline spikes, heart rate can jump from 70 beats per minute to over 150 in seconds. But here's where it gets interesting. Sports scientists have been studying elite athletes for decades, and they've discovered something remarkable about Brady's physiology under pressure. During the 2017 Super Bowl comeback against the Falcons, researchers monitored Brady's vital signs. While down 28-3, his heart rate remained at a steady 85 beats per minute. That's barely above his resting rate. It's as if his body exists in a different dimension of reality, a dimension where chaos cannot penetrate. But how is this possible? The answer lies in a philosophy that was born in the marketplaces of ancient Athens, refined in the palaces of Rome, and perfected on the battlefields of modern football. The ancient code. Picture this, it's 180 AD. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, sits in his tent on the German frontier. Barbarian tribes are attacking the Roman Empire. The fate of civilization hangs in the balance. Yet in his private journal he writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wasn't just pretty poetry. This was a battle-tested philosophy called Stoicism. And here's the fascinating part. Modern neuroscience has proven that the Stoics accidentally discovered one of the most powerful mental techniques for peak performance. The technique is called cognitive reframing in psychology, but the Stoics had a much cooler name for it: the discipline of desire. They realized something profound. We don't react to events themselves. We react to our interpretation of events. Change the interpretation, and you change everything. Now, fast forward almost 800 years to a football field in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Brady method. Tom Brady has never claimed to be a Stoic philosopher. But watch him closely and you'll see Marcus Aurelius in shoulder pads. Here's his secret weapon. Brady has trained his mind to see pressure as information, not threat. When 80,000 people are screaming, when millions are watching, when everything is on the line, his brain processes this differently than yours or mine. Neuroscientists call this threat versus challenge mindset. Most people's brains interpret high-stakes situations as threats to be avoided. Brady's brain interprets them as challenges to be conquered. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just mental toughness, it's literally rewiring the neural pathways in his brain. Dr. Amy Cuddy from Harvard discovered that when we change our physical posture and mental framing, we can actually alter our hormone levels in minutes. Brady has been unknowingly doing this for 2 decades. Every time he steps into the pocket, his body language screams confidence. His shoulders are back. His breathing is controlled. His eyes are focused. The Stoics called this preferred indifference, external things that don't determine your happiness or success. The crowd noise? Preferred indifferent. The media pressure? Preferred indifferent. Even the Super Bowl itself? Just another preferred indifferent. The neuroscience behind the magic. Now, let's dive into the really cool stuff. What's actually happening in Brady's brain when he's under pressure? First, his prefrontal cortex, the CEO of the brain, stays in complete control. For most people, extreme stress causes the amygdala to hijack the prefrontal cortex. It's like a panicked employee taking over the boardroom. But Brady's brain works differently. Years of practice have strengthened his prefrontal cortex like a muscle. It's become so dominant that it can override the amygdala's panic signals. Second, his brain has developed what neuroscientists call cognitive flexibility. This means he can rapidly shift between different mental strategies without getting stuck in one pattern. Think of it like having a Swiss Army knife for your mind. Need to read a defense? Switch to analytical mode. Need to make a quick decision? Switch to intuitive mode. Need to stay calm under pressure? Switch to stoic mode. Here's the mind-blowing part. This isn't genetic, it's trainable. Brady wasn't born with a superhuman brain. He built it, one practice at a time, one game at a time, one pressure situation at a time. The ancient Stoics were basically proto-neuroscientists. They figured out how to hack the human brain 2,000 years before we had the technology to understand what they were doing. The 3 pillars. So what exactly is Brady doing that the rest of us can learn from? It comes down to 3 core principles that the Stoics mastered. Pillar 1, the dichotomy of control. Brady has laser-focused clarity on what he can and cannot control. He can control his preparation, his effort, his attitude, and his response to situations. He cannot control the weather, the refs, the crowd, or even his teammates' performance. Watch him during a game. When something goes wrong that's outside his control, he doesn't waste a single calorie of mental energy on it. He immediately shifts to what he can control in the next play. Pillar 2, present moment awareness. The Stoics called this prosoche, attention to the present moment. Brady doesn't think about the previous interception or the upcoming fourth quarter. His entire universe exists in the current snap. This is why he's so effective in clutch situations. While everyone else is thinking about the consequences of failure, Brady is thinking about the mechanics of success. Pillar 3, memento mori and amor fati. The Stoics had a practice of remembering that everything is temporary and learning to love whatever happens. Brady has said in interviews that he tries to enjoy every moment because he knows his career won't last forever. This mindset actually reduces pressure. When you accept that everything is temporary, including failure, the stakes don't feel so overwhelming. The future of human performance. Here's where things get really exciting. What if we could bottle Brady's mental state and share it with the world? Scientists are already working on this. They're using virtual reality to create pressure situations for training. They're developing neurofeedback systems that can teach people to control their brain states in real time. Imagine putting on a VR headset and practicing your presentation in front of a virtual audience of thousands. Or using a brain-computer interface to see exactly when your prefrontal cortex is losing control to your amygdala. The future of human performance isn't about becoming superhuman. It's about becoming more human, more conscious, more in control of our own minds. And the blueprint for this future was written 2,000 years ago by a Roman emperor who never threw a football in his life. Tom Brady didn't just master the art of throwing a football. He mastered the art of being human under the most extreme circumstances imaginable. The practical application. So, how can you apply Brady's Stoic principles to your own life? You don't need to be facing 300-pound linebackers to benefit from this ancient wisdom. Start with the morning reflection practice. Every morning, Brady visualizes the game ahead. But here's the key. He doesn't just imagine success, he imagines everything that could go wrong and how he'll respond. This is called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It's not pessimism, it's preparation. By mentally rehearsing challenges, you reduce their emotional impact when they actually occur. Next, practice the pause. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space lies your power. Brady has mastered this space. When pressure hits, he doesn't react immediately. He pauses, breathes, and chooses his response. You can train this in everyday situations. When someone cuts you off in traffic, pause. When you receive a stressful email, pause. When you are about to make an important decision, pause. Finally, develop your own personal philosophy. Brady has said that football is what he does, not who he is. This identity separation is crucial. Your worth isn't determined by your performance in any single situation. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that external events are temporary, but character is permanent. As we wrap up this journey into the mind of Tom Brady, remember this. The greatest victories aren't won on the field. They're won in the quiet moments when you choose courage over comfort, when you choose growth over safety, when you choose to be the author of your own story. Tom Brady's real superpower isn't his arm strength or his football IQ. It's his ability to remain himself under the most extreme pressure, and that's a skill every single one of us can develop. The ancient Stoics gave us the blueprint. Modern science has confirmed its effectiveness. Athletes like Brady have proven it works in the highest pressure situations imaginable. Now it's your turn. The next time you face pressure, remember, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The pressure of millions watching, that's just information. The real question is, what will you do with it? Thanks for joining me on this exploration of the Stoic quarterback. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'll be diving deeper into the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern performance in future episodes. Until next time, remember, the game is won between your ears.